the recent hurricanes that have occurred or other man-made catastrophes um, have proven one thing over and over again. Uh, these events trigger the population, uh, organizations, communities, neighborhoods to seek out answers. And most of the time, they seek out these answers from the religion. Um, for example, these hurricanes, uh, Harvey, Irma, Maria, Jose, that devastate cities, states, um, and if you look on YouTube, which you are on YouTube, you will find that individuals claim these are signs of the end of the world, but yet the end of the world doesn't come, meaning the human race continues to live and the earth continues to exist and the way the world is being run continues to exist. So there's no end of the world, uh, but uh, the population continue to foresee these events as biblical prophecies coming into reality. Um, and these individuals who believe that their predictions, prophecies, uh, uh, convince others, the brothers, sisters, family, neighbors, co-workers, and so on, that these are signs that the world will end. Well, these are only means of control. Um, and for example, um, the control when these events occur, uh, no one does nothing. Uh, Everyone just watches the news or videos and goes on their daily lives. Uh, for example, the, the the Bible, the pestilence, um, starvation, war, genocide, dictatorships, uh, human trafficking, pollution of the air and the water, pollution of our soil, pollution of the minds. All this continues and no one does nothing. Um, that's right, no one does nothing to stop the genocide, which is brought on by the war. No one does nothing to stop the starvation, which is brought on by greed or ignorance. No one does nothing to stop the diseases which are man-made. No one does nothing to stop the pollution of a water that our companies pollute every day. As you see, no one does nothing. And so these biblical prophecies continue to occur. Now, why is that? These biblical prophecies continue to occur because they're means of control. Okay. Now, when all these so-called natural disasters occur, the world does end for that child that dies of starvation. The people who are killed by war, um, the world does end for them. The people that have been stricken by disease, which can be cured or could have been prevented, the world does end. Now, the control comes into play when the neighbor who only sees world prophecies coming into fruition, they do nothing. They see the crime of murder occurring, but don't do nothing. They see the crime of starvation occurring, and they do nothing. And they see the death by disease occurring, and yet the neighbor does nothing. The entire world does nothing. The only thing that the majority of so-called good people do is they give thanks to God as these biblical prophecies are coming true all around us. Yes, if we prevented these crimes from occurring, we prevent the end of the world. And most importantly, we prevent the second coming of our Savior. Uh, when the neighbor does nothing, and the neighbor gives thanks that the end of the world will occur and bring the second coming, the restraint is brought on by the few who control the world. This is the biggest scam, which is and continues to be replayed and used over and over and over again. We are being ruled and controlled by the very few. We are controlled by our dream of paradise, which is promised in our religion. Think about the history that you have been taught of, the history that you have read of, and that history that is occurring every single day. It is the history of the few, not ours. But what is it to us? It is the hell that we have allowed ourselves and have allowed our children to be raised in, to live in, and to die in. From the day we are born, we live in their world and we live by their rules. This is the control that they have over the majority of us.